EHAS Club presents Stories to Create podcast, where the tale of our guest takes you back, way back to where the story first got created. Now, to help create this new story, here is your host, Cornell Bunting.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here, EHAS Club. I am so excited today because I have one of the beautifulest sisters in the house. When I tell you she is an innovator, she's a TV personality, people. I'm telling you, entrepreneur. She's doing all type of things out here. You guys don't know her yet, but I'm just going to introduce her as Dee-Dee Smith.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh,
First of all, happy Friday.
Yes.
It is almost Christmas time.
It is almost Christmas time. What are you doing for Christmas?
I'm going to go to Arkansas and be with I have 3 little nieces and a sister and a brother, and I'm going to go hang out with them.
So you're the awesome auntie, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Coming with all kind of gifts.
As my little nieces say, that's the rich auntie.
This is good. I love it. I love it.
So what are you going to do for Christmas?
You know, I'm going to be here and then I leave for Jamaica the day after Christmas.
What's that going? You're going to be in Jamaica the day after Christmas? We don't understand why you don't go the day before.
So we have 2 events down there, one on the 27th, one on the 28th. We're giving back to 2 other homes that I work with. Mm-hmm. So about 100 kids.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Through what organization?
Yes. Me. So it's EHAS and Mrs. Universe Jamaica Pageantry. They partnered with us, so I have all those girls going to be giving out gifts.
Yeah, man. Well, me think I'm a Jamaican.
Yes.
So if I can help in any type of way, I would love to support the cause.
Listen, we're going to bring you in. We're going to bring you in. So what we want to do, we want to bring our guests, our listeners, back, just a little bit back.
Okay.
Before the nickname was created. Mm-hmm. So the early years.
Oh.
The young girl age. Mm-hmm. Where was that?
I was in Arkansas.
Okay.
My parents lived we all lived in the same town, but I grew up with my grandparents around. And so I moved in with them.
Wow.
My mom and dad were very much so present. Okay. But I was a little country girl with big dreams, a heavy country accent. It'll come out every once in a while. But surprisingly, I knew who I was.
Okay.
At a child.
Okay.
And that's a giver.
Yeah.
I have a heart to give. My grandmother told me the story. Yeah. She said I was about 3 years old. Mm-hmm. Everybody we were yard selling. So back in the day we used to do yard sales. And we went to the gas station. There was a homeless man outside and they gave me money to shop with. Right. But instead of shopping at the yard sale, I gave all of my money. And my grandmother said, everybody walked by the homeless person except for you.
Wow.
And when I did that, other people started giving this person money.
Beautiful.
And that's just who I am.
Oh my goodness.
So that's who I was at 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I love church. I love God.
So there was school.
Yes.
And church.
Yes.
When you say church,
you're Jamaican, so I'm not Jamaican, but you know how it is.
You know how it is.
Church, you go to church. You guys, do you do the Sabbath?
Well, yes.
So
you got to keep it holy. They say you Sabbath day, you got to keep it
holy. We didn't have the Sabbath. I'm not Seventh-day Adventist, but we believe in being present at church for a very long time.
Yes.
As some of my Jamaican friends.
So like a couple days a week.
Yes.
So you look at
Monday night prayer meeting, Wednesday night Bible study.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't do it. My kids now, they cry when I take them to church. Like, especially to I brought them to a Jamaican church one time to visit and they cried.
Yeah. I've been to church in Jamaica way too long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you see the Jamaicans, they're like, yes. But then when you get to church, they're just like very conservative. And these are the holiest people.
Yeah,
so let me say this.
Yeah.
This is totally off subject, but that's okay.
Yes.
Seventh-day Adventists, on average, live 10 years longer than any other religion.
That is wild.
You know why?
That is wild. Oh,
Ask
my
me why.
goodness. Why?
Because they take one day a week to rest.
See, I like that. I mean, there is a few people now that is starting to understand the importance of resting.
Yeah.
So I like that. So you going to school. I mean, by the way, what kind of young lady were you in school? Was you a rebel, or you was a student that get all the A's, or?
Well, transparent moment.
Okay.
I was a rebel.
Wow.
But I was a kid acting out. For a reason.
Okay.
It wasn't that I wasn't getting attention at home. It's just that sometimes when you are a child that goes through a divorce with your parents, you kind of end up in a battlefield.
Right.
And some of the wounds, they started at a young age and they grew with me. So in high school, which is so interesting because my principal, who became my superintendent, they basically adopted me and took me into their family.
Wow.
Because they saw the potential in me. But it's like, she keeps coming to this office and this is just misplaced anger.
Right.
Because I've been kicked out of school twice.
Wow.
And I was the first person that, I think in the 6th grade, I think I had like 67 detentions.
What?
Yeah.
What, was you fighting a lot?
I talked a lot.
Oh, you talked a lot. You were talking back to the teacher?
Yes. But thank God I am not who I was then, because I was a handful.
A good rebel.
Yeah.
A good rebel.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, going to church, did they ever put you on the choir?
I sing, yes. Oh, goodness. The Sunshine Band for the little kids.
Wow.
And then the what they call the youth.
The youth choir. Oh, wow.
And because I could sing, I usually would have to lead a lot
singer.
of the songs.
Wow.
And I grew up with a piano in the house.
Okay.
So my grandmother played the piano by ear.
Okay.
Sometimes her tone was a little off.
But I
grew up like that, so it taught me.
You got to work with it off key.
You got to work with what you got. So I love to sing. I still to this day sing on the praise team at my church. That's who I am. I'm a worshiper. So.
I love it. It. This is a beautiful thing. So in that time when you decided, you know what, I'm going with grandparents, how did your parents feel about that? Like, did they started to go through the transition of divorce?
Yeah, so my mom was okay with it because my mom would come to my grandmother's house every morning, cook breakfast, make my bed, wash the clothes. Okay. So it was one of those things where she knew that my grandparents loved me.
Right.
And at the time, it just fit. But I had a sister who stayed with my mother.
Okay.
And so we have two very different outlooks on life. And we have two... my mom was an alcoholic. Okay. And she died at the age of 50. Whoa. And so very young.
Yeah.
And so my sister stayed and was working with my mom. I just put that distance there because I was older and I needed to focus on my grades. I was a cheerleader, softball, track. I did it all. And sometimes I did it without having a parent present at my game.
Man. Yeah.
So that's where
so you were a little upset sometime when you're at your games and you see no one come?
All the time. My grandmother and grandfather, they would come, but it wouldn't be worth them to come watch me play the last 3 minutes of the game.
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't that great at basketball, but so what was the question?
Dude, that's okay. I like what you just said though, but in that time, though, did you ever voice that to your parents? Like, why aren't you guys coming to my games?
Yeah, of course.
You did?
Of course. Yeah. Because I was so hurt. Because every child needs to look out in the audience and see their supporter. Now, my grandmother supported me financially a lot because my mom was like, you can't try out for cheerleading.
Wow.
And my grandmother was like, do it. And she dropped me off.
Yeah.
And I went to a predominantly white school. Okay. So no one thought that we would have more than, there was already 2 upperclassmen. So
Right.
like they're not gonna
Yeah.
let any more sisters. But two more of us made it.
Wow.
And my grandmother had yard sales. I mean, she helped pay for camps.
That's amazing.
But yeah, and my father in all this, after the divorce, he got remarried.
Okay.
First, and so the lady that he married had multiple children. So it wasn't that he wasn't present in my life.
Right.
He just wasn't physically there as I would like him to have been.
Because he had his hands full.
He did. He got 5 additional kids. But I wouldn't change it.
I get it. That's a beautiful thing. So when did you leave Arkansas?
I left Arkansas.
Yes. Hey, you see how she dropped the baritone on you guys?
So I left Arkansas when I moved here.
Okay.
After my mom died. A year after my mom died.
Okay.
And how I ended up in Fort Myers was one of the hardest companies to get into. Interviewed me a year prior to my mom passing. Okay. And I was like, no, it just didn't sit well with me. Yeah. And then after my mom died, I just was so unhappy. Okay. And I just kept seeing. So I have to tell you this. Yes. Because this is a big part of who I am. Mm-hmm. The day that my mom died, I was there. Mm-hmm. We were at my grandmother's house. She stayed all night at my grandmother's house. She was sick the night before, but I had a wedding to be in. And the wedding was my cousin's wedding. Mm-hmm. And so I had hair and makeup that morning, and my mom was sleeping in my room. Right. And so I checked on her. She threw up all night. My sister slept in there with her. Yeah. Well, anyways, long story short, I get to hair and makeup, which is about a 40-minute drive. Right. I get a phone call that says, go to the hospital. And I beat my mom to the hospital because where I live, where my grandmother lives, is a 40-minute drive to the nearest hospital. Wow. So by the time my mom gets there, I'm outside the hospital. They roll her out. I see that she's gone. I felt it because I felt like a piece of me was missing. Yeah. So 3 hours later, we go back to my grandmother's house. People are coming over. And my grandmother looks at me. She says, what are you doing? Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I guess grieving. I don't know. I didn't know. Right, this is a new feeling for me. Yeah. And she says, you need to go get ready. I said, she said, you have a wedding to be in. Oh, man. So at that moment, I was really cut off from grieving. From that moment, I was taught that my feelings are, it's not that it's not important right now, but I have to show up for other people. Oh, man. So the same day my mom died, I was in my cousin's wedding. Wow. And what that looks like for me is a trigger is weddings. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. The color purple. The color purple. I mean, the wedding was purple, gorgeous wedding, but all of those things are triggers for me now. Right. But, wow. I'm so sorry. I had to share that with you because most people say we don't know how anybody could do that. Right. But, wow, you had to do that right in the midst of trying to figure out what was happening. You had to. Wow. So you decided no more Arkansas, Fort Myers, and then you took that job. I took that job. And I'll never forget. I loved it. It was a cool job. It wasn't a lot of people that looks like me there, which is okay. Right. I'm used to that. Yeah. But sometimes the culture is just a little different. Yeah. And I'll never forget, I got the opportunity to interview with Steve Harvey. Oh, nice. And the job basically made me make a decision. Wow. You know? Yeah. If you go film this show in Chicago and you miss the last day of the quarter, then you've made your decision. Wow. And to me, at that time, I wasn't going on Steve Harvey to try to get a job. Right. It was just, he's an icon. You know, I love watching him because he's so real. He's a real representation of a black man on TV. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it was like, so that means you put your 2 weeks notice in? Wow. Yeah. That was brutal. Yeah. So that's how I ended up in Fort Myers at the job. Now, I'm no longer there. Right. But I did get to meet Steve Harvey. This is good. So, yeah.
So you left that. When did you decide, you know what, I want to do my own thing? When did you decide to do that?
I think I always have known I wanted to do my own thing. I started a few businesses, a photography business, which I loved photography. But after my mom passed, pictures were sore for me to look at. And I'm capturing your moments. I was a little bitter. I'm capturing these moments for you, but I can't have some of these moments for myself.
For yourself,
but that was when I was looking at the glass half full. So that I knew I was born an entrepreneur because I knew that I was born a leader. And the type of leader that I am, I wish I would have had. I wish I would have had more support, in different jobs and roles like that. But it's in me. It's not on me. It's in me.
It's in you.
Yeah.
It's in you. So in the transition, right, from there to here, because you got your church friends there. What did that look like coming here?
Well, real is always going to outlast, So when you are connected to real people, now there are people that I no longer have much communication with, but that's time, that's space, and that's life. But my real people, they come here, I go there. Like it's a bond. I can go months without talking to some of my friends back home. And we pick up. Just where we left off.
Just like that.
Yeah. Real relationships will always endure no matter where, no matter the time, no matter the space.
Wow. Do you feel like, when you became a TV personality, did that bring out a lot of, well, let me take that back for a minute. We're going to go back to that. But in the time when you were a rebel, would you say you had this introvert personality that just kind of went into an extrovert mode?
No.
No?
I was always an extrovert.
Extrovert the whole time?
Always.
Wow.
Always. I have always been a person that I say how I feel. I'm loud. You feel me when I'm in the room.
Yeah.
I'm becoming more introverted now as an adult.
I see.
And it's a transition. But yeah.
After all the many accomplishments, you've decided, you know what? let me take it down a little bit.
Yeah, let me take it down a little bit because it's in those moments sometimes where I take it down a little bit that I can take in a little more.
Yes. I like that. So while you're here, though, because I know the environment was probably a little bit different when you moved to Fort Myers, right? Was it a culture shock?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm like, well, I'm not going to say it's necessarily a culture shock because I grew up in a city that was, maybe 8% Black people.
Okay.
African American, let me be politically correct. So when I got here, it wasn't necessarily a culture shock. It was different because there was the ocean. There were a lot of old people. That was the culture shock. It wasn't until I went to the Martin Luther King parade. The second year I've been here that I saw a whole bunch of Black people. And I was like, what? Okay, it's cultured. It's diverse. But I've always felt welcome. A lot of people ask me when living here, do I experience racism? This is definitely a Republican state, but so is Arkansas. But no, it hasn't been like that for me. It's been amazing. The culture shock was a good culture shock because it exposed me to things that I would have never been exposed to had I not left Arkansas.
I like that. I like that. What is your relationship now with your dad?
Oh, me and my dad, we are really best friends. Yeah, he's here now. He's been.
He moved to Florida.
He hasn't officially moved, but he spends at least a month at a time.
Oh, beautiful.
Here, and he has become like my rock.
Yeah.
He really has. Dad is cool. He's a smooth guy. We're different because he's a lot more. He's quieter than I am. And but he's smooth, and he's one of those men he's very strong. He's one of the strongest men I know.
That's awesome.
And I admire my father and I love him so much. And I'm thankful that he turned his life around many years ago for his children.
Right.
And he's apologized. He's taken ownership. So there's nothing for me to hold against him.
Right. That's
and
good.
That was years ago.
Yeah.
And so we living, we are traveling. My dad is...
He's doing it.
He's doing it. I'm so excited for him. He's going to be moving here
nice.
next year. So I'm excited to have him here because it feels good to have family around.
That's beautiful. What would you say is the hardest thing for you when you decided, I want to start my own business and move into that direction? What was the hardest?
The hardest thing for me was myself.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that right there. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Let's dive into that.
Myself, my thoughts.
Okay.
I already told myself, this is going to be difficult. This is what this looks like. What if you fail?
Yeah.
Like, you can't afford to quit your full-time job and go jump out and chase your dream. But it's like, I'm working somebody else's dream here.
She just did that. Oh my goodness.
I'm working somebody else's dream. So I need to work mine. And I was literally in my own way.
Wow.
So that's the hardest part. And then having conversations with people prematurely about what you want to do, because people can talk you out of things before you know it.
This is very true.
Girl, are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. Listen. I'll call you when I'm done.
Yeah.
Show up at the grand opening.
Yeah.
But it was me. It was me.
What
about you? I'm curious. I really am curious.
Don't worry. You will learn a whole lot about Cornell.
Okay.
But for right now, for the listeners, it's about you for a little. Hey, you guys know. Maybe I'll bring her back so she can interview me. How's that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of questions. We're going to get in your business.
I like it. So, as far as you doing what you're doing now, when an opportunity arose for you to leave the country, did you leave the country?
Yes.
To go visit? Where was the first place you visited?
I went to, I've been Maldives, Dubai, but the best place that I've gone was Africa.
Okay.
I went for mission work. Oh my gosh.
Where'd you go?
I went to, I was in Kenya.
What?
Egypt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Over there, they treat me like a queen.
Listen. You ain't saying nothing. I know all about it. This is good.
Had I not moved to Florida, I would have never.
You wouldn't explore into those. Yeah.
Florida was this step of faith to activate me by putting me in a space where I had not too many people when I first moved here. It was literally me and God.
Right.
And I learned a lot about myself. And so in doing that and moving to Florida and learning who I am, opportunities start popping up and the rest was history. Like the Africa trip was, I am the president of Females Are Us. And we collaborated with Project Lenity, which is a nonprofit organization that helps children in Africa and widows.
Wow. Okay.
So I went to Africa and that changed my life.
Yeah.
Here I am thinking I'm going over there to change. Oh, I'm going to give them everything I have.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. And what a shocker, because I was the one
you was received
the most.
Oh yeah. It does put a lot of things into perspective.
Yeah.
In Africa. So
Jamaica as well. I work with a nonprofit in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't want to talk about that too much because when I talk about that, tears come to my eyes. But I've gone a lot of places.
Wow, that is amazing. You recently got featured in a book as one of the authors.
Best-selling author.
Yes. Now, you dove into a little bit of your life story and what was that like with you taking that step to want to put some of your story out there?
Well, I felt like I've experienced so much grief that there was some type of purpose in it, although I couldn't see it past my feelings. And so I started writing a book. maybe 6 years ago. And it was about my mother's death, my grandfather's death, my uncles. I have a lot of death in my family.
Wow.
And I never could finish it.
Yeah.
Because it took me to a place
yeah.
where I was afraid I couldn't come out of. Because
Right.
when you grieve, sometimes you literally just go into the shell and it's a cloud over your head. Depression, it's too much.
Yeah.
And so I never finished the book. And then when the opportunity to be featured as one of the authors, when my friend called me and said, hey, actually, Lee called me. She curated the book. And she said, you've been nominated as one of the top powerful women in Southwest Florida. I was like, what?
Yeah.
A little on me?
Yeah.
And so we were supposed to write about who's the hero in your story. And I figured, who is the hero in my story?
Right.
Because it certainly isn't me.
Well, so you think.
Well, so I think.
Right.
Well,
right.
I didn't have enough strength to be my own hero.
Right.
So that's what I talk about in my chapter. I expose myself a little bit by letting the readers in on a little bit of my grieving journey, which I do plan to have a follow-up book. But I got to be ready. I got to be ready.
Ready. And you got this, though, because you do have that personality that really say, I'm here. That's it.
I'm here, y'all.
Look at me. I am in the building. Recognize. I love it. So with that, like the friends that you surround yourself with now, how much support you get with like what you're doing in business?
I get quite a bit of support from my friends.
Okay.
A lot of my friends own their own businesses.
Beautiful. And
that's what we do.
Yeah.
We support because no one can run a business successfully on their own.
On their own. This is true.
Whether it's sharing a post, commenting, telling a friend, or buying my merchandise. I remember when I started my leisurely clothing line, all of my friends bought multiple items and they wear it to this day.
That's beautiful.
We went out last week in Miami. My friends have on their pullovers, their t-shirts, and I didn't ask them to.
Yeah.
But I love my friends. If you're listening to this, I love y'all. You guys are the real MVPs. Let's get we on our way to the top, all of us.
I love it.
Yes.
I like that right there. You know, I gotta say, because we don't have a lot of entrepreneurs that are, they're on the rise. Yeah. And we could say successful as well, that look to help others as well. That's in that circle, that understand the perception when they were talking at the perception they were talking about what they wanted to do.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
You got to commend you for that. That's
Thank
lovely.
you. It's amazing to have support. So part of the other reason why I was open to leaving the company that I was with when I moved here was I had an older African-American boss.
Okay.
And she treated me. I've never been treated the way that this woman treated me.
Oh, man.
Never.
Wow.
I would cry. And I'm not a crier.
Right. Yeah.
But it was then I'm like, I'm not a threat to you.
Yeah.
You're in this position. I'm at this position. You could help me get to this position.
Right.
And so I knew I've never thought that way, but I knew even in that moment, I was like, I never want to be this type of woman to anybody. So as the president of an all-female organization, that's what we do. Yeah. Help a sister, help a sister.
I love that. I love that. It's, it's always, I don't know why it gets to me whenever I meet individuals that have been just terrible to other people, but then when they discover who you are, they're trying to do all this stuff, and I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
That happened to me last week.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And not that I'm anybody, but once you look it up, like,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Now the manager's calling. Miss Smith, we are so sorry. I bet you are. That's okay.
You're going to learn.
You're going to learn today. Let me send this email. Corporate.
Boop. done.
Yeah.
So you got into financing and you decided you were opening up a whole company.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's big right there.
I had to. I had to.
Before we go into that, was you good at maths in school?
No. All I could do was carry the one and the two.
Carry the
No, sir. This new math that these new children are doing with all of these letters and numbers and all that. No.
You're like, not now.
Hand me a calculator. Work smarter, not harder.
There you go.
Why are y'all teaching us this?
Yeah.
I just need to know numbers. Money.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Wow. So you decided that was the right move right there.
Yeah. But you know what? It got in my way at first. Me.
Come on.
Because guess what?
Yeah.
I'm not good at numbers.
And you're thinking that.
I'm thinking this.
Okay.
Why would anybody? And people who know me, I don't have the best shopping habits.
Right.
You know, I live my life on the edge.
Yeah.
Now I save, but I could save a hell of a lot more. Let's be real. I was bad.
Yeah.
But the first step is admitting.
Yeah.
Okay, you with me?
Yes.
I'm admitting it right now.
Yeah.
So not anymore, but that was it.
Yes.
So I almost didn't do it because of that.
Okay. Wow.
You don't know anything about finances. You have project management degree.
Yeah.
You have mass communications, interior design, hosting. Where does numbers add up in that?
Wow.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But it was a game changer for me because when my mom died, because all of this ties together. Right. When my mom passed, I want to say my grandma had like maybe $5,000 life insurance. Is very, very small.
Yeah.
And some of my family members own a funeral home, but you know, they'll give you a family discount, but they still got to make their money too.
You still got to make their money, yeah.
So I had to tap into my 401k, and I was taxed.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I was like, wait, what? Just for taking this amount out?
Right.
And so had my mom had a proper life insurance policy, and had I been set up, that could have been a moment of generational wealth on top of greed. Yeah. I'm not saying look at death as a way to come up.
Right.
However, I am saying look at the Rockefellers.
Oh my goodness.
Life insurance is literally how the Rockefellers maintain the Rockefellers.
I just talked to some people about that.
Really?
Yeah. I literally just talked to some people about, and
what
they're
did y'all
still
talk about?
The wealthiest family in the world. Like, it's no joke. And it's all on insurance.
All in insurance. Because as a child, if you grow up in the Rockefeller family, you automatically get a life insurance policy. A whole life, not a term life. A whole life insurance policy that costs basically pennies.
Yes.
Right? So no matter what cycle you go through, if you're the matriarch, you know your time is up next. It's not like a sacrifice, but it's inevitable. You're going to die. Why not leave something for your children's children?
Right.
That's what the Rockefellers did.
Yeah. The part that I'm still trying to figure out is the way, like, whatever debt this person that's dying leave, the insurance takes care of all of that and everything recycle, like it starts over. It's so one of the things that they were saying was how, like, whatever you've done in like your journey in life, if there's outstandings or whatever, there is part of your insurance that covers that. Yes, and that's how they do. Like, so it's like they go back to zero for the next upcoming family member.
Yes,
that's
absolutely. And they leave some left over, millions left over. But we don't know. So
we don't know.
That's how I got into the financial world.
Yes.
It was like, I am sick of this perpetuated cycle of GoFundMe.
Right.
Like, and it's bigger than life insurance, but that was solely the purpose that I joined. Yeah. And then when I joined, I learned about annuities.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. You mean I've been having my money over here in this 401k and it only made this much? And when the stock market crashed, my money went down with it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No. And then I found out there are these different investments, but I thought I needed hundreds of thousands to invest. I thought I needed 50,000 to invest. It's like, that's a bunch of money, you know? Yeah. But you don't need that.
No.
You got $10,000 or you have enough money to get you some type of IUL.
Yeah.
a whole life plan, then that's what we need to be doing.
You're good. Yeah. I like that. And you educating yourself on it, and you positioning yourself to help a lot of like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
And this is beautiful. Now, with all that going on, where's the family looking? Like, where's the family sitting? Are they like talk with you a lot, or just you and your dad?
I am a family-oriented person. So my family is we're very tight-knit family. So you run, I'm running too. We're very close. They're very supportive.
I like that.
I only had one aunt on my mom's side who died at 50.
Wow. 50 as well. What is with this 50?
And I have 5 uncles. I love my uncles. I love, and on my dad's side, he had 2 sisters, and my aunt died. I want to say she was almost 50, so she died.
Wow.
By 50.
Yeah.
And I have several uncles. I'm extremely close. With my sister. My little sister, she has 3 kids. Yeah. I'm going to tell you their name because you wouldn't believe me. But London.
Okay.
Paris.
Oh my goodness! Don't tell me we're going over. That's where we go.
Germany.
Come on! Wow, for real.
So I'm in the airport, like London, Paris. Like, no, we're not going there. I'm like, those are my nieces. Get y'all butts over here.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah. But they changed my life. My family is the reason why I go so hard. I've always been the matriarch of my family, especially after I graduated college, because I was making good money working for a tech company. Yeah. And
so you saved up a lot of that money?
Oh,
not really.
Saved. I lived up a lot of that money. Okay, I saw the world with a lot of that money.
We having fun.
Yes,
I like that.
Because that's what life's about.
Definitely. You definitely got to enjoy life and understand what that looks like.
Yeah.
So you have all this stuff going on now. If you was to think back, when would you say was a turning point where success found you and it's like, okay, I'm going to let this kind of stay with me. I'm going to hold it.
Hold it. Yeah. Definitely when I moved to Florida.
Okay.
When I moved to Florida, it was like a domino effect. Doors just start opening up for me. Yeah. I'm singing the national anthem at the hockey game. I'm right outside with the Red Sox at an exclusive event. Like, I'm in all of these rooms that some of the rooms I was not qualified to be in. Right. But because I was in position.
You was in the position. Yes.
Like, there's been times where it's like, hey, this person can't make it. We got a last minute ticket. I used to feel some type of way about that. Yeah. But then God dropped it in my spirit, like, no, ma'am. You didn't have a seat at the table, but I created one.
You created one for you.
So go show up and leave that attitude at home.
I like that.
But when I moved here, that's when I got a taste of success. But maybe when I was in college, because I was the president of my entire freshman class at a university.
Wow.
So I did a lot and I had a big impact, and it was that success that kind of fueled me and I was a pageant girl. So I was used to winning, and when you win, you want to keep with it, you know?
Like, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. And if you haven't lost, why stop winning?
Why stop winning? I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So, because with everything going on right now, in the paradigm shift that we're in now, what would you say some of the struggles a lot of young ladies face when they already have the gift to do what is tugging at them, but they just don't think that's what it is?
I mean, it's fear.
Yeah.
It's really fear, and it's themselves. Yeah. And that comes from some type of insecurity or deficit, whatever it may be. But a lot of women, they don't realize that.
Right.
So the first step is to realize that, like, okay, because I know people who self-sabotage. Like, that's the word, self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. Wow.
Oh, I nobody ever did it in my family, or I'm good, but this person's better, or the market is saturated.
Yeah. Come on,
sis. Everybody's doing everything.
Right.
But you have to have some type of confidence within yourself to know that even if you fail, it's not a failure. It's just a lesson. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from that failure, which is experience. Right. And so I think a lot of women just have to not be afraid to fail. Because, honey, I fall. Yeah. But when I fall, I'm taking something with me.
Yeah. You holding on.
I'm taking something with me. I'm holding on to something. When I get back up, that's something that I took with me is going to help me to stand up longer next time.
There you go. I like that. You know what? I like that. I don't know if I've fell a few times and held on to anything. I just fell.
You probably fell, but you probably did.
This is good. This is good. Yeah.
Look, I say I fall, but I've never just laid there.
No.
You done laid there?
No.
Oh, okay.
I never.
You get back
up. I can't do that. I just don't see it in me.
Yeah.
It's from the boy. It's from the boy, you know, that little 4-year-old boy in Jamaica. So, but I got to tell you though, because, you know, a lot of females, they see you and they're excited with what you're doing. When you discover there's a female that's really hating all the stuff that you're accomplishing, if you ever get a chance to confront them, what would you say to them?
That's a really good question. Your battery. Look at God. You know, I was so crazy. I would tell her that don't allow my strengths to intimidate your insecurities.
Ooh.
If you watching this and you don't like me and you one of my haters, it's okay. Yeah. Don't allow my strength to imitate. I mean, you got to intimidate your weaknesses.
Yes. I love that.
And I encountered that so many times. Yeah. People judge me by how I dress, my car, my purses, and things like that. Yeah. That's not who I am. Right. But those same people who judge me, a lot of them come back and be like, oh my gosh, girl, you are so funny. Like, you are so cool. I'm sorry. Yeah. I had a cousin call me and tell me, she was like, I'm sorry. I wish I would have had a relationship with you sooner. Yeah. But because they were hating on you and I was with them.
They joined the bandwagon. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
But that's okay, because people hating on me is not going to stop what I have going. Right. Because what God has for me is for me. Oh, definitely. And who I am is who I am. I'm not going to change to make somebody else comfortable. I'm going to always be me. Yes. They going to have to adjust.
Yes. You're going to have to adjust and catch up to the moving train. I love it.
How you can. Bye, baby.
I love it. So, do you ever go back to church and do a little bit of choir singing? Or?
I haven't.
Not really, because you're so busy now.
Well, it's I sing at my church here. I have been out for the last 2 months, but God knows my heart.
Yes.
But I used to go back when I used to go to Arkansas, and I would sing every once in a while. But I haven't been to my childhood home of church. I think because my grandmother that raised me, she's in the nursing home. Oh, okay. And so she used to play the piano at church, and she was the choir president. So me going back there without her, it just feels different. Yeah. It really hurts.
Yeah. I understand.
But I used to love to sing a lot more than what I do now. I think sometimes life happens, and sometimes our joy. Like I would be like a mockingbird, a hummingbird, just everywhere I went. But as life happened, my voice, and now I'm a background singer, which is okay.
Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Ooh.
Whitney Houston.
Prince, Michael Jackson.
Oh, why you have to? Yeah, I mean, the two legends, Michael Jackson, I mean, he's well-rounded dancer, entertainer.
Yeah,
Prince was different. He had his own lane, you know. I can't choose between the two. But I will say I am a big Prince fan.
She's not going to choose people.
So I'm going to beat it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Would you say any of the music from the early 2000s have a lot of influence on how these youths act now, or it's the music now?
I don't know a lot of the music now because I can't understand the music now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was we were out last week, me and my friends, and the song came on. We out on the boat and the music is loud blasting. Yeah. My friend Rati, she owns her own nail salon. Right. She was playing the music, and a song came on. I was so embarrassed because all the other boats are around. It was like I'm trying to get my coochie scratched or something like that. I was like, what? Who did that? Dirty Red. You know Dirty Red.
Oh, Dirty Red. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and it's like,
wow.
The things that they talk about now, it's very catchy.
Yeah.
And the thing I don't like about it is my nieces get a hold to this.
Oh, yeah. They know it.
My little 8-year-old niece was like, we were in the car, and she's like, make me wet, make me holler, make me lose my breath. I said, what is she talking about? Yeah. She's like pouring water on her. I said, okay. So I was thinking, Lord, we are teaching
the influencers of these days.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But the music in the 2000s, I had a 90s party for my 35th birthday. Amazing. And
Whoa. You can't, what did you just say? You had a 90s party for you 30. Okay.
Yeah.
We went somewhere there for a minute because I'm like, you wasn't no 35 in the 90s. So, but I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now. Okay. I help you guys out. You're welcome. You are welcome. Okay.
No, that was you not doing the math.
Okay. So we did a 90s party for your 35th birthday.
And the vibe. Just because the music will put you in a different place.
Oh, yeah.
It's so nostalgic.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm like, the substance, the love, just the vibration from the music, actually, the words meant something.
Yes.
And the music now, some of it is good, some of it is different. I'm open to change, but I like good change.
Yes.
But between me and you, in my mind, I am a rapper. Like I like to freestyle a lot, but I do Nicki Minaj impersonations. I don't know if you knew that. Well, I used to. I'm a little old now to be impersonating anybody other than DeLisa. And Tina Turner. Yeah. So I love rapping.
Yes.
I love
I like how she just threw her government name in there.
Yes.
You guys heard that?
DeLisa.
Yeah. You didn't miss it. This is beautiful. For the listeners that want to find you, that are intrigued with your stories and who you are, how can they find you?
So you all can find me. My social media handles are It's DeLisa for me. So ITSDELISA.
Okay.
The number 4, me.
Me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And website?
Well, Lord, my website is so long. My website is so long. I just
brace yourself, guys. Brace yourself.
I don't even know it by heart.
No,
okay. I just use my insurance website.
Just put her name in, and she'll come up. People,
I'll pop up. I'll work on getting a link that's a website that's like Dee-Dee.com or something like that.
Dee-Dee.com. I like it. I like it. So maybe you know what. I'm telling you guys here first. I'm going to bring her back so she can interview me. How's that?
I cannot wait.
Oh, for you guys.
The interview you've been waiting on. The interview you needed that you know you didn't need. Or did you need it and you didn't know?
You didn't know.
Because I want to know, like, how you got here. You Jamaican. You were here.
Oh, my
you said
goodness.
You have children.
Oh, my goodness. It's so much. Listen. We're going to chat more in a minute. So, listen. Everyone, you guys heard it here. We created a story with the very lovely, talented Dee-Dee Smith. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yes. So, there you have it. Another story has been created right here in EOS Club. Until our next episode, where we have another interesting, colorful, decorative guest. Like Dee-Dee. Right here.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. The host came, the guest came, and the story was created. Thank you to our sponsors, EHAS Inc., Karis Capital, and the Cornell Bunting LLC brand. Go check out the books, courses, and materials at www.cornellbunting.com. Thank you again for listening to the show. Check back again to hear another tale from another unique guest right here at EHAS Club.